everybody. Welcome back to the long-awaited return of casino technology conversations with Juan and Craig. Juan Romero, CEO of Volante Software. How are you doing?
Doing fine, sir. How are you? It's good to talk to you. We talk all the time. Just haven't done a recording in a while, but it's good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise. I think this may be our first one of 2022. But yeah, we have been talking. I mean, Volante's been on fire. You guys are releasing new modules, onboarding new customers. We've been super busy doing the same, launching new features, onboarding new customers. And I think we've been so busy with our conversations kind of not being recorded, talking about what's going on, that we're like, all right, hey, we gotta not let this muscle atrophy. We gotta start talking, record it, start producing content again. So Juan, maybe before we jump into it, what's the newest module that you've released?
So the newest thing that we've released is some enhancements to the progressive module, but the biggest thing that we're actually working on is a brand new module that will come out probably in the next 30 to 45 days, which is our checklist, slot check, right? So the ability to take any paper-based checklist and make it electronic and push it through our slot track system. So people are super excited about that. Basically, every customer that we have is already ready to install it as soon as it's ready. So we're trying to like toe that line between fast and right. So we're working on that.
Well, I know you've been working continuously, and unfortunately you were such a road warrior that you had to miss the NIGA show. But I was there, and
yeah. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did enjoy myself. I got there a little late because I was out in Detroit for some meetings, and I flew Thursday straight there. The trade show floor opened noon on Thursday, and I got there about 2:00. So I missed that initial wave of people walking through, but I enjoyed it. I got to meet with customers, met with prospects, and so I got everything I wanted to do accomplished. Had a nice dinner out with customer and prospects, and yeah, it was a fun time. And man, it's hard to complain when you're in Southern California with like perfect 75-degree blue skies. It was a nice show overall.
That's great, man. Did you see anything new, anything exciting out there? I know we talked a little bit before this. You said there was a large emphasis placed on like cashless type stuff, but was there anything else that really stuck out?
I think cashless was probably the main thing. I remember, for example, I don't know, 5 years ago going to G2E, and it was all about skill-based gaming. That was the craze. And then I feel like a couple of years ago, heading into the pandemic, it was sports betting. It was like there's a million booths of just like random sports betting companies from Europe, from Asia that, were trying to go up against FanDuel and DraftKings and William Hill. And so, and I feel like this year I saw more. What stood out to me was the cashless gaming, the mobile wallets. Saw a little bit of crypto, and then data security. I think as more and more stuff goes to online, we're not dealing with cash so much, more stuff that's could be hacked. I saw a lot of security boosts. So I'd say those were the kind of key themes that I saw.
That's interesting. What are they proposing with crypto? Using crypto to like fund your wallet or something to play at the game?
I suppose so. I should have hung out and like talked to those booths. I saw a couple that just had crypto on the back end. It may have just been they want to throw the buzzword up. Like
Sure.
You see some people that are like AI, machine learning, and
right.
Like, what do you do? It's like it's not really
algorithm.
Just using the word. Yeah.
It's the algorithm, Craig. It's always the algorithm.
Yeah. There wasn't any like awkward. Do I shake hands? Do I not? Everyone was pretty much back to like shaking hands, hugging. That felt good. It was very fun. I'd say fun environment.
That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. That kind of like sets like your feet underneath you for G2E, right? Something to look forward to, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of, we got to get the suite going again.
Yeah, 100%. That was such a great event last year. We got to do it again, most definitely. We better start working now because it's April, but it's going to be October before you know it, man.
You're right. Yeah, you're going to blink. It's going to be October. So yeah, I will start working on that because by then we'll have a lot more customers. We'll have new features to talk about. One thing though that we talked about off camera was kind of thinking about as a up and coming, fast growing technology company, how do you lower the barrier to adoption for potential customers? And I think we both are kind of on the same page. Maybe do you have any, you want to talk about kind of what your thoughts are going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us right now, and we did have a good conversation, very fruitful about this off camera, was, really, I feel like in broad strokes for both of our systems, people understand that there's a lot of positive attributes for both of those systems, right? I mean, like it's a no-brainer. I can say that Trio or Slot Track are going to save people money. Yeah, we know that, right? It's going to make it easier to communicate. This is like these very like generalized, broad like statements that can be made that are true about both of our systems. I think for us, really, it's right now I'm in the process of like forming a couple different partnerships with some of our customers to basically like whittle down exactly what that story has meant to them, right? Because it's a lot different in my eyes to come to you and say, Craig, Slot Track's going to save you time and money and increase your opportunity to make revenue, and you're going to go, absolutely, right? I mean, no brainer. It's different if I can come to you and say, all right, this is how much money people saved in these avenues. So this is the uptime that occurred from these other avenues, and like say it in a very concrete business plan type fashion. And so, that's one of the biggest things for us is really, figuring out what those the total impact, because we know what they are. We just got to measure them, right? And so that's what we're working on.
Very nice. Yeah, it always is easier. The more quantifiable it is for your champion, the person trying to bring in Slot Track or Trio, to then take it to the budget holder, whether it's the CFO or the tribal council, to explain, here's exactly why we need to spend this money. And so I think it's really smart walking down that path. For us, what we're looking at from an adoption perspective, as you know, Trio spun out of URComped, right? URComped, our platform for players to sign up and get offers at casinos they haven't played at before, and casinos to acquire new customers they wouldn't have acquired otherwise. That's Trio was built to basically serve that business. And then we've launched Trio as kind of like, we're not shy about saying it came from URComp because that's part of the story. That's why it's such an effective casino marketing tool. But what we're looking at now is potentially using URComp as a foot in the door, where we may, instead of reaching out and saying, hey, you want to see a demo of Trio, it's, hey, would you like some new players, like for free? Essentially, like, hey, you want to sign up, put an offer or two on URComp website, see if we get any bites. Because by doing that, then one, they're getting free players. Like, I always prefer to reach out and provide value than kind of feel like I'm selling something. I know Trio's gonna provide a lot of value, but still, it's even better where it's like, here's something free. And then like basically accepting the players, they kind of have to use the Trio platform. That's how the players would be fed into the system. So then they get a little taste of Trio, and then it can progress from there. So that's something that we're looking at, and I think we may roll out and may try it out in one region, see how it works, and if it goes well, then we'll expand it across the country. But that's something that it's always good to try new marketing channels, new marketing techniques, and so that's what we're looking at doing.
Well, I think that's smart, right? And you hit the nail on the head talking about value add, right? If we can add value to the customers, the clients, and their operations, that really is going to be the basis for why they put our systems in place ultimately. So I think that, it's a smart move. We're looking at something similar on our end. I don't know the entire details right now, but essentially there'll be a light version of our product, or at least some facets of it, that people can basically use for either low or no cost to kind of generate and put together that ROI, for their operations, to justify what the entire product would be, or the entire functionality of the module. So we're working on that. It's a little bit of a deviation in business model, and we have to certainly, for us, the biggest thing with something like that is we want to make sure that we have the resources in place and the documentation and customer experience stuff in place so that it's seamless, right? I don't want to put something out there that even though they're paying little to nothing for, they can't use without a ton of intervention from us, and that's not really what we're aiming for. So we'll find that medium and we'll document and put together all the training we need to, and hopefully it, in my eyes, it'd be like our truest rendition of a SaaS offering, as mainstream technology for technical people, identify with.
I love it. I love it. Well, man, it's always exciting talking to you. I'm glad we're getting back in the content creation game and having more conversations. I know we're both, our companies are at kind of an inflection point where it feels like we're downshifting and accelerating. So I'm pumped for talking again in a couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll have some new exciting announcements. We can dive into some new topics as well.
Yeah, man, it was great. Thanks for putting this together. And like always, I appreciate our discussions, and you're right. It was time to get back on the horse, and here we are. So we'll just start planning for G2E now, right? Since now, and we'll be in good shape.
I love it. All right, sir. Well, we'll talk in a couple weeks sooner.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Thanks.